Everyone, Shabby Gamer here, and welcome to the Unforgiven pre-show here in our WWE 2K16 Universe mode. Now we're going to have 3 matches on this pre-show, and as you can see, the first one is going to be Farooq taking on the Big Boss Man. Of course, the Big Boss Man, one of the new members of the DLC, the Legends Pack, in the Universe mode. Of course, we have seen him in Retro roster already before. Also in this pre-show, we're going to have Finlay defending his European Championship against Eddie Guerrero. And we're also going to have a 6-man Elimination Chamber match. Now, we are going to have an Elimination Chamber match on the main show as well, but I thought we'd have another one here on the pre-show just to get as much use out of some of the guys as we can, really. So we're going to have a 6-way Elimination Chamber match. It's going to be Goldberg, Kurt Angle, Sting, the British Bulldog, Bret, Hart, and Cactus Jack. Now, the winner of that 6-man Elimination Chamber will get the option to face off either against the World Heavyweight Champion or the WWE Champion at the next pay-per-view. That'll be their choice. So, without further ado, here we are seeing Farooq making his entrance. I've not used Farooq a lot in this Universe mode so far. So when I was doing this pre-show, I thought we'd give him an opportunity. Somebody else I haven't used this pre-show so far, really, is Ken Shamrock. And I'm going to try and rectify that next month. Use Ken Shamrock a bit more in our Universe mode. Because he's someone I actually quite like, but I don't think we've used him a single time. I think I've used him once yet in this entire game. I wonder whether Ken Shamrock might be a better tag team partner for Finlay. Heading up the Irish route. Here comes the Big Boss Man. Now, Big Boss Man is somebody that I see maybe being involved in the hardcore division here in the Attitude Era, which I think would be a pretty good idea for him. I need to try and mix that hardcore division up a little bit, because so far we're just sticking to the ECW guys, which is great, but I think there's other people that can be involved, like I said, like Big Boss Man, and there's also Big Van Vader, I think, could be a decent hardcore champion. But Bossman did pick up a big victory on our most recent episode of Retro Roster. I think it was uploaded yesterday. He defeated... Did he defeat Vader, I think, actually? Yeah, Bossman defeated Vader. Oh, I might be wrong. No, Vader is someone faced someone else, didn't he? Big Bossman faced off against... Let me have a quick look at my book. So it was Bossman versus... Maybe I'm completely wrong. I'm sure Bossman was in a... Was Bossman on the Attitude? He was on Attitude, wasn't he, the other day? My mind's going completely blank. Bossman... No. Yeah, Bossman defeated the British Bulldog on our last episode of Attitude Era's Friday Night Raw as well. Sorry, my memory's going completely out the window here today. So there was no reason why he couldn't pick up another victory here over Farooq. Not quite sure what we're doing with Farooq at the moment. Whether I think I might try and push him towards the IC Championship at some point. Give him an opportunity, see how well he goes. Of course, with the rest of the Nation of Domination behind him, I think The Rock, of course, the current World Heavyweight Champion. Nation of Domination wise, Farooq could go for IC Championship. We're gonna have Mark Henry maybe going for the European Championship, D'Lo Brown Cruiserweight Championship, and D'Lo Brown and Cal Mustafa going Tag Team Championships. That's really divide and conquer for that stable. Of course, Big Boss Man's part of the Corporation, alongside Paul White, of course, the Big Show, and alongside Ken Shamrock and Vince McMahon in that corporation. That's pretty good. And I'm looking forward to this Elimination Chamber. It's a few guys that have not had a lot of opportunities so far. So it'd be great to see one of them go on to our next pay-per-view to get an opportunity at one of the 2 big championships. And of course, our main show. I'll give you a quick rundown of what's going to happen on the main show. We're going to see Kane taking on Haku as they continue their rivalry. Dean Malenko defends his Cruiserweight Championship against D'Lo Brown, and Cal Mustafa will be in D'Lo Brown's corner. We've got a Falls Count Anywhere match between Kevin Nash and Rhino, again continuing that feud on. We're going to see the world's greatest tag team, Shelton Benjamin and Charlie Haas, as they take on the Dudley Boys for the Tag Team Championships. Diamond Dallas Page defends his title against Chris Jericho. Batista defends his WWE Championship inside the Hell in a Cell against The Undertaker. And of course, our main event, again, another Elimination Chamber match, as The Rock defends his World Heavyweight Championship against Sid Vicious, Rikishi, Booker T, Edge, and Stone Cold Steve Austin. Now that should be uploaded straight after this video. I say straight after. It will be uploaded straight after this video, but by the time, because of how long uploads take on YouTube, it's probably going to be about 3 or 4 hours afterwards. But I will try and get it up as early as humanly possible for you. Bossman now has Farooq up, and Farooq manages to break free and catches Bossman with that stroke style move down into a pin. 1, 2. Oh, almost a 3 count there, and then I'm starting to lose my voice a little bit here. I hope not. I've got a lot of recording to do today. There's Farooq with the snap suplex on Big Boss Man. Stamp on the back of Boss Man now. Boss Man clambering back up to his feet, but Farooq is there now. Slams Boss Man headfirst into the mat. And also within the next 2 or 3 weeks as well, I think, we'll start to bring in the women's division a bit more into the Attitude Era. Of course, we did get Lita and Trish Stratus as downloadable content recently, and that is going to build the foundation of our women's division. We're also going to use, of course, Stephanie McMahon, and we will be downloading a few other women as well that we can use for this Attitude Era roster. And I think some of the women might also transfer over into Global Force Wrestling as well. Farooq now bringing Big Boss Man back up to his feet, and there's a great power slam there. In for the pin goes Farooq. Probably took a few extra seconds. He probably should have pinned him a bit quicker, and there you go. Big Boss Man does kick out. It's great to have Farooq on the game. We haven't had him for a while. Do we have him? No. We keep getting JBL. And we had to download Farooq last year, so it's nice to have Farooq on the game, because I do normally put together the acolytes, the APA, but of course on this game with the full Nation of Domination, there's no need to really. Bossman now working Farooq over on the outside. Big boot there by Farooq, and it's a shame they have got rid of the backstage brawls, because I think we really could have used them as part of our hardcore division, the 24/7 rule, just random backstage brawls, but it doesn't seem to be... I don't know why they got rid of them. It's really annoying. Farooq's up top. Is Farooq thinking about... Oh, Farooq does. There's a big elbow drop from the top rope to the grounded Big Boss Man, who was on the outside. Farooq now brings Boss Man back up to his feet, now launches him back into the ring. Breaking the referee's count, and Farooq looking for a big victory here. So we've not seen much of Farooq so far, so for him to pick up a victory on this Unforgiven pre-show would really help him out a bit. Gut wrenches Bossman up onto the shoulder, then slams him down face first. Into the pit he goes. 1, 2, and 3. And there you go. Farooq does pick up the victory over the Big Boss Man here on our pre-show for Unforgiven. And what a great win that is for Farooq. Like I said, that'll probably give him a bit more of a boost. I think, like I said, I think Farooq is someone we might be able to give an opportunity at the IC title to pretty soon. Not obviously hand him an opportunity, but give him the chance to fight for #1 contendership. No reason why not. Of course, tonight on the main show, we've got Diamond Dallas Page defending that Intercontinental Championship against Chris Jericho. It's going to be a hell of a match, that one. Really looking forward to that. And I've just realised we've got 2 Elimination Chamber matches, and I'm pretty sure that the game is set so you can only have Elimination Chamber matches inside the Elimination Chamber arena, which is going to be a little bit annoying. So probably we're going to have to skip the entrances for the Elimination Chamber match, I think. That's the main one, I think. There's that big power slam there by Farooq, and Farooq really did really well in this match. I think he's really proved himself, and I think we should give more of an opportunity now. So I think I wasn't watching wrestling, I don't think, at the point when the Nation of Domination was around. So I'm not honestly sure what sort of level Farooq should be at, to be completely honest. Should Farooq be main eventing? Should he be going for the WWE and World Heavyweight Championships maybe? Or should he be where I've got him, maybe IC Championship? I think that's probably the case. I think The Rock should be going for the main championship, and yeah, I think Farooq should be further down going for the IC title, I think. And here we go with our first championship match of the evening. It's going to be Finlay defending his European Championship against Eddie Guerrero. And here we go. The following match is scheduled for 1 fall, and it is for the European Championship. Now, Eddie Guerrero was the champion. It was Finlay who won the belt off him in the last pay-per-view. Eddie Guerrero won the #1 contendership bout to get himself the rematch here this evening. And he'll be desperate to get a hold of that belt back. I quite like the way the first name's up there and the second name's down there. I've not noticed that before. So Latino Heat, Eddie Guerrero, looking pretty good here. I honestly, my money is on Eddie Guerrero to get the belt back here this evening. As good as Finlay is, I know he's been slightly enhanced on this year's game. He's better than what he was last year. And I think that's a good thing, Finlay, because he was just a little bit weak. No, not so much weak, but he just was at the same sort of level as you'd expect to be. He was quite low. I think we did give him a stat boost ourselves last year, and here he is now with that European. I was about to say that European Championship's missing. There it is. And Finlay as well is going to be someone who's going to be involved in the hardcore division. We need to have a little bit of mix up in the hardcore division at the moment. We're sticking really to the ECW guys. We've got Raven, Sabu, RVD, the Sandman. So basically they're the only guys that have really had opportunities so far. So I'm thinking we need to mix it up a little bit, I think. We've not seen much of RVD and Sabu actually. Maybe we could do some sort of feud that involves the pair of them. Maybe we could do RVD and Sabu versus the Dudley Boys or something along them sort of lines. There's your challenger, Eddie Guerrero. And of course, the champion. Won the belt at the last pay-per-view, Finlay. Of course, it was Eddie Guerrero who won the belt in the European Championship tournament. Did I say that right? Did I say that right? I can't remember. William Regal won the belt in the European Championship title tournament. Eddie Guerrero was counted out in the first round against William Regal. A glitch in the game. So we gave Eddie Guerrero the opportunity to fight for that European Championship on our very first episode of Monday Night Raw. And Eddie Guerrero did win the belt. But then he went to lose the belt, and then the last pay-per-view, which of course was Backlash against Finlay. It was a bit of an amazing result, really. I was not expecting. I was expecting a successful championship defence, but it was not to be the case, unfortunately. Well, unfortunately for Eddie Guerrero. Anyway, Finlay was very happy with the result, as you can imagine. My computer's gone absolutely mental at the moment, so I'm losing a little bit of what is going on. Yeah, I'm losing quite a lot of what's going on here. There we go, yeah. Finlay is on top of this one at the moment. Eddie Guerrero just thrusts him away. Guerrero rolling Finlay over. And like I said, I fancy Guerrero to regain his championship here this evening in this match. Now bringing Finlay towards these ropes. Now that's something I think 2K need to sort out, because a lot of times it looks like the computer doesn't really know what it's doing. It seems to grab a hold of someone, take them towards a certain set of ropes, and just as it gets there, it will turn around and take them somewhere else. And they seem to change their mind quite often. And I do think, like I've said before in I think my video yesterday, the retro roster, there's still quite a lot of glitches that need sorting out in this game. It's so frustrating because it had the potential to be one of the best games released in a long time, but I think with the amount of stuff they've taken out of it and the amount of glitches that are still in the game, it really is still a shadow of what it should be at the moment. The thing is that it's the problem with a lot of stuff. If there's no competition, it really lets itself down. It's the same with WWE at the moment. Because there's no competition, there's no WCW, there's no... Well, TNA are never going to get to the sort of point where they can compete. And they just become very lackluster, and they just put out really poor content because there's nothing to compete against. The best WWE have ever been is when they were against WCW. That is the attitude here, and that's because everyone was competing against each other for ratings. Everyone was really putting their all into being inventive and writing out the best shows possible. And at the moment, because there's no competition, there's just no quality. So hopefully that's something that can be addressed sooner rather than later. I need a 2 count there by Finlay. So my screen has gone off again. This is very frustrating. Finlay now just wrenching back at the arms of Eddie Guerrero. Holding him back. Guerrero now wrenching back at the head of Finlay. And Finlay needs to get out of this as quickly as possible, because all he's currently doing is just sucking the life out of him. But Finlay does manage to get back up to his feet and launches Eddie Guerrero over the top rope. Guerrero back into the ring though. Both guys trading blows to the stomach. And my computer seems to be okay now. I seem to have full viewing, so sorry about that little glitch in the commentary. I was unable to see what was going on for a while. Oh, Guerrero there with a power driver. Not a move you'd expect Guerrero to normally hit. But it was effective nonetheless. And now an elbow drop to Finlay. I'll take it all back. Guerrero now bringing Finlay back up to his feet. Taking him up. Rolls those hips. Into the second of the Three Amigos. In for the pin. Only enough for a 2 count. We thought he might have had his championship back there and then. Guerrero sending Finlay into the corner. Face first. I send it to the outside, and Eddie Guerrero on the outside himself. What is Guerrero looking for here? I'll dive through the middle of the bottom ropes, and there's the tornado DDT. Using the good old Sami Zayn way of doing things. Now throwing Guerrero back into the ring, and I always worry when stuff like that happens, because the amount of times I've had the same glitch where people can't get back in the ring. They just stand there and they can't seem to get back in the ring for some reason. It's so frustrating. It happens over and over again. I've had quite a lot of glitches. The last 2 or 3 days, this game has been really, really bad to me. It really has. We've had glitches galore. We've had matches just stopping for no reason. It's been very, very frustrating the last couple of days. And I'm hoping 2K have got another patch in the wings ready to come out. Drop kick to the back there by Eddie Guerrero on Finlay. In for the pin he goes. 1, 2. Only enough for a 2 count still. Both guys slowly back up to their feet, and Finlay has Guerrero in that front chancery. And a snap suplex there by Finlay. Finlay now takes Guerrero up. Guerrero slides out the back. Bringing Finlay into the middle of the ring. Takes him up, and there's a sit-out powerbomb there by Eddie Guerrero. Again, not the sort of move you'd expect Eddie to really pull off. And now locking in the submission hold, the cloverleaf style submission hold. I've forgotten what he calls that now, you know. But unfortunately, submission finishes on this game did not work at all. And that's a little bit unfortunate for him because if he'd used the frog splash, he might have picked up the victory there. But instead he went for the submission. I'm only assuming the submission is his finishing maneuver. I might be completely wrong. Finlay taking Guerrero up onto the top rope, and maybe Finlay could do... Well, like I said, I assumed that Guerrero was going to pick up the victory in this one, but the way Finlay's going at the moment, you never know. Superplex, now in for the pin he goes. 1, 2, and no, Eddie Guerrero kicks out on the brink of 3. Finlay with a snap suplex. And it looks this way at the moment that Finlay's definitely dominating the proceedings. It looks like he's going to be the one, if anyone, to win this match at the moment. Finlay bringing Guerrero back up to his feet, up onto the shoulders he goes, and rolls through. In for the pin he goes once again. 1, 2, and again Guerrero kicks out. Both guys again slowly back up to their feet. Finlay with a big right hand. Takes Guerrero up into a... Looks like a tombstone power driver, and he hits it. Finlay hits the tombstone power driver on Eddie Guerrero. He's got to pin him now, surely. Does he? Brings away from the ropes. In for the pin. 1, 2, and a no. Eddie Guerrero's kicked out again. Wow, if this match has taken this long, how long is the Elimination Chamber match going to take? Finlay sending Guerrero into the corner. Shoulder blocked into the corner as well. And there's the snapmare. Guerrero bringing Finlay away from the corner. There's a gutbuster by Guerrero. And now Eddie Guerrero's going up to the top. Is he going to hit the frog splash this time? He does hit the big frog splash. Brand new champion maybe. 1, 2. And no, Finlay kicks out. What is going on in this match? This is insane. Finlay now back in control, just stamping the back of the knee of Eddie Guerrero into the mat. Brings Guerrero back up to his feet. Into the corner he goes. But Guerrero reversing. Throwing Finlay into the corner now, taking Finlay up onto the top turnbuckle. Hooking them feet over the top. Guerrero got planned here. Superplex. Again, taking Finlay down. 2 and 3. And there you go. Finally, we have a winner in this match. And it's going to be the second championship reign in this universe mode for the European champion, Eddie Guerrero. Twice he's held this belt in the universe mode now. He'll be hoping to hold it a little bit longer than he did the first time. The first time was only about 3 weeks. Yeah, about 3 weeks, as he won it on week number 1 in the universe mode and lost it at the pay-per-view. I know, he must have had it for less than that. He must have only had it for 1 week. Yeah, he must have won it on Friday Night Raw as well, then lost it. Lost it at Backlash. He'll definitely be looking to hold on to it a bit longer than that then. And it was a good victory eventually. It took a superplex. It was strange because we saw both guys use multiple finisher maneuvers. Eddie Guerrero didn't even use the frog splash, and that wasn't enough to keep Finlay down. It took the superplex to finally keep him down. This is the frog splash here. Obviously, for those of you who don't know, Eddie Guerrero started using the frog splash after his good friend Art Bar, I think it was Art Bar, died. They were a tag team together back in Mexico. And that's where Eddie Guerrero got the frog splash from. I think Art Bar's frog splash was a lot better than Eddie Guerrero's ever was, though. Art Bar's frog splash was immense. And there you go. It took a superplex after the frog splash to get Eddie Guerrero back that European Championship. And it's great to see Eddie once again in this universe mode holding gold. Now, how long can he keep it for this time? We'll have to wait and see what happens as we continue with our Attitude Era universe mode. And here we go with the final match here on our pre-show. It's going to be the Elimination Chamber match. And as you can see, it has to take place in the Elimination Chamber arena as well for some reason. That's really annoying. And of course, we've got Sting, we've got the British Bulldog, we've got Bret Hart, we've got Kurt Angle, we've got Cactus Jack, and we've got Goldberg. 6 guys that I don't think I've really given a fantastic opportunity so far in this Attitude Era universe mode. So I really wanted to really give them the chance to shine. Like I said, the winner of this Elimination Chamber match will get a shot at either the World Heavyweight Championship or the WWE Championship next month at our next pay-per-view. And here we go. We're going to start things off with Sting and Cactus Jack in the ring. So it'll be interesting to see which one of these guys does manage to pick up a victory here. I know it doesn't really matter what arena is in use, because as you can see, you don't really see the arena anyway. It did tell me I couldn't turn off entrances, but the entrances didn't load up anyway, so that's not a major problem. The only Elimination Chamber that you can see is just that little bit of matting underneath the ring there. So if they just let you use your own matchup screen, there won't be any problem really. Now in this match, my money's going to be on, I'm going to go for Goldberg in this one, you know. I don't know why. I just fancy Goldberg to do well in this. We didn't give Goldberg a lot of opportunities in 2K15 either. I was always a big Goldberg fan, so it'd be great to see him get an actual opportunity in this universe. But if he doesn't win this, then I think we might try and give a few of these guys some feuds next month, just to try and mix things up a little bit. We're going to get another entrant into the cell, and it is me, Bret Hart. So Bret Hart is entrant number 3 into this Elimination Chamber match. And of course, remember, we do have another Elimination Chamber match for you on the main card. That is for the World Heavyweight Championship. As I'm not remembering all them people in that match, am I? We've got The Rock defending against Sid Vicious, Rikishi, Booker T, Edge, and Stone Cold Steve Austin. We also have a Hell in a Cell match for you on the main card as well, as it's going to be Batista defending the WWE Championship against The Undertaker in that one. I know that might seem a little bit random having a Hell in a Cell and Elimination Chamber in the same night, but as soon as I saw Batista versus The Undertaker was going to be our main event, I had to make that a Hell in a Cell match. And this is Elimination Chamber just sheerly because it means we could get 6 guys in the ring at the same time, because there's so many fantastic big names in the Attitude Era. And here comes Kurt Angle, another one of those fantastic big names. We're going to see Kurt Angle and Sting now lock off, and I'm pretty sure Kurt Angle versus Sting must have happened a couple of times in TNA, but I don't remember it off the top of my head, but it must have happened. It might even, no, I was going to say it might even happen in the Invasion. Sting was involved in the Invasion now. Silly of me there. Bret Hart there with a snap suplex, and Sting there, I think with a sidewalk slam on the outside on the steel. Very, very painful. Bret Hart with a drop kick to the side of the head of Cactus Jack. Now Sting with a vertical suplex on Kurt Angle on the outside on the grating again. That's going to be very, very painful. Russian leg sweep there by Bret Hart. And in comes the British Bulldog. Looks like Goldberg's going to be the 6th entrant into this match. That's going to be a great advantage for him. Bret Hart in with a pin too. Only a 2 count there on Cactus Jack. And this match continue. Oh, it's going to continue its Elimination Chamber, isn't it? So Goldberg, the last person to enter this match. That's going to be a big advantage for him. He's going to be able to use that. That extra energy. He's going to be able to keep hold of. Bret Hart now taking Cactus Jack up onto the top rope. Now taking the legs over the top. What's Bret Hart got planned here? A superplex and landing on top of Sting as well. As Kurt Angle and British Bulldog just fighting on the outside. Kurt Angle just launching Bulldog into the pod, then into the steel. Now sends him back into the ring, but I think Sting came out to try and catch Kurt Angle. And here comes Goldberg. All 6 guys are now in the ring. Who's going to become the #1 contender for the championship of their choice? Goldberg now throwing British Bulldog to the outside as Bret Hart looks to lock in the sharpshooter middle of the ring on Cactus Jack. The crowd are shouting tap, but is Cactus going to tap? No, he doesn't. Oh, the crowd are shouting Sting as well, actually. There's Bret 1 and 2. It's only a 2 count. Massive powerbomb there by Goldberg on British Bulldog, now bringing Goldberg back up. Bringing Bulldog back up and powerbombing him down again. So much action going in the ring, it's difficult to keep track of who's doing what at the moment. But we seem to have broken into 3 separate matches. It's Bulldog versus Goldberg, Angle versus Sting, and Bret Hart versus Cactus Jack. Sting now with a pin on Kurt Angle. 1, 2. It's only enough for a 2 count. This match starts to slow down now as British Bulldog just stoops in ahead of Bret Hart, going for the pin on Cactus Jack, but it's not enough to keep Cactus Jack down. See Bulldog there thinking he could try and steal the glory. Sting just DDT in the head of Kurt Angle into the mat. And Cactus Jack looks like he's lining up British Bulldog for something. Hooks him up. There's the pile driver there by Cactus Jack. Could we have our first elimination? Jack in with the pin. 1, 2. And there you go. British Bulldog has been eliminated by Cactus Jack. We are down to 5 men in this one now. Who is it going to be? Who is going to get the opportunity at a major championship next month as Kurt Angle hitting his trio of German suplexes on Sting on the outside? Goldberg just launching Bret Hart straight into the ropes there now. And Goldberg slamming Cactus Jack down. And it's not enough though for Kurt Angle to eliminate Sting on the outside. Cactus Jack now sending Goldberg over the top of his shoulders. Rake to the eyes there by Jack on Goldberg. Bret Hart with a spinning neck breaker. And now Bret Hart with a belly to belly slam on Goldberg as well. Kurt Angle with a pin on Sting on the outside, and Kurt Angle has eliminated Sting. I think I may have missed an angle slam of something there. But now we are down to 4. We are down to Kurt Angle, Cactus Jack, Bret Hart and Goldberg. One of these 4 guys is guaranteed to main event our next pay-per-view. Kurt Angle with a big boot to the face of the cornered Cactus Jack. Bret went for a suplex, but Goldberg reversed into a suplex of his own. Cactus Jack now has a hold of Kurt Angle, brings him back up to his feet, and there's a sidewalk slam by Jack on Angle. Goldberg with a knee to the face of Bret Hart. Breaks free, and Kurt Angle locking in an armbar submission on the outside on Cactus Jack. We've not seen Many submission victories so far in this universe mode. This could be maybe the third. No, it's not. But Goldberg with that massive slam is not enough to finish off Bret Hart. And now Kurt Angle looking for a trio of Germans on Cactus Jack now on the outside. And he gets all three. Is that going to be enough to finish Cactus Jack off? It looks like it very well might be. Of course, on that steel on the outside as well. Referee looks like he's gone for... Ooh. Referee, I didn't realise that. I'm sure in a Fatal 4-Way match, pinfalls, if someone gets a pin, then both pins get broken up. The referee there took it in turns to count the pins. And that is Cactus Jack eliminated there by Kurt Angle. So we know it's either going to be Kurt Angle, Bret Hart or Goldberg going through to main event our next pay-per-view. I said Goldberg from the beginning. I might very much be right on this one, you know. Bret Hart has Kurt Angle up and it looks like a Razor's Edge style powerbomb. Kurt Angle slides free though. And Bret Hart with that Russian leg sweep, one of his signature moves. Goldberg with that Saito suplex. Kurt Angle. Oh, great dragon suplex. Release dragon suplex on Goldberg. Now Angle rolling Goldberg over. Going up to the top rope, Kurt Angle. Might be the safest place for him to be. Hitting the double axe handle on both Bret Hart and Goldberg. Oh no, Bret Hart caught Goldberg from behind. That's the difficulty at the moment. It is a triple threat match, so you've got to constantly be looking over your shoulder because other people are going to creep up behind you and they're going to get you. Bret Hart now bringing Goldberg back into the middle of the ring. Belly to belly slam. And now Kurt Angle looks to be lining Goldberg up, I think. It looks like Kurt Angle and Bret Hart have taken it upon themselves to try and eliminate Goldberg out of this match. Get the strongman out of the way. Goldberg now launching Bret Hart over the top of his shoulder. Now Goldberg taking Kurt Angle up and slamming him down into the mat. Bret Hart with a big kick to the stomach of Goldberg. Spins him round. There's a reverse neck breaker. Bret Hart with a big drop kick to the side of the head of Goldberg. Big knee to the face there by Bret Hart and Goldberg. And here we go, the two guys teaming up on Goldberg. And so Bret Hart and Kurt Angle have really done a number on Goldberg here. But now Kurt Angle turning on Bret. Maybe thinks they've weakened Goldberg enough, and Kurt Angle trying to eliminate Bret Hart from the equation. But Goldberg now joining in with Kurt Angle to take Bret out. Goldberg picking up Bret Hart by the neck and slamming him down. Angle in for the pin. 1, 2. And no, Bret Hart does manage to kick out. Kurt Angle has Goldberg now in the front chancery. Belly to belly suplex there by Angle on Goldberg. Bret Hart looking for a DDT, but Angle was still well in there and he caught Bret with a few punches to the stomach. Angle with a couple of knees to the face of Bret Hart. Bret Hart now with a Northern Light suplex in for the pin. He goes 1, 2. And no, Kurt Angle kicked out. These three guys all desperate to main event our next pay-per-view. And it looks at the moment that Bret Hart's not going to be there as Goldberg hits the massive jackhammer. 1, 2, and what? What on earth? How on earth has Bret Hart just kicked out the jackhammer? Kurt Angle again with a butterfly. The butterfly, that's a dragon suplex there. And Bret Hart now catching Kurt Angle with a Saito suplex. And Bret Hart just stamping on the back of the leg of Kurt Angle. Goldberg now bringing Kurt back up to his feet. And now Goldberg looking for another jackhammer this time. And Kurt Angle takes him up high. Bret Hart watching as Kurt Angle gets slammed down. 1, 2. And oh my word, what is going on with Goldberg's jackhammers? They're just not working here this evening. He's going to try another one, is Goldberg now. No, as Bret Hart breaks out of this one. Kurt Angle with a DDT on Goldberg, and Goldberg looks busted open actually, not noticed that. Kurt Angle with the angle slam on Bret Hart. Are we going to see another elimination here? Kurt Angle needs to pin him. Why is Angle not pinning him? He just stood there. Come on, Angle, do something. And finally, Kurt Angle goes for the pin. 1, 2. Has he left it too long? No, he hasn't. Bret Hart has been eliminated, and we are down to our final 2. It's Kurt Angle. It's Goldberg. Goldberg busted open. And Kurt Angle brings Goldberg back up to his feet and hits another Angle slam. And surely Kurt Angle is going on to main event our next pay-per-view. 2. And oh no! Goldberg's kicked out. Goldberg is kicked out. Kurt Angle again stalking Goldberg. And again another Angle slam, and surely this time. Surely this time. 1, 2, and 3. And there you go. Kurt Angle is victorious. He is going on to main event our next pay-per-view against who we don't know yet. We'll have to wait and see who wins our 2 big championship matches later on this evening. And then we can make a decision of which would be the best match. You see some of the highlights. Big German suplex there by Sting. And that was British Bulldog getting the entrance into the match as well. Wasn't enough for the elimination though by Bret Hart in the background. This is where Kurt Angle was just launching British Bulldog into everything. You see him against the pod, against the steel cage as well. And that was also Bret Hart hitting his pile driver on Cactus Jack. He went for the pin straight after that, but it was not enough to finish Cactus Jack off though. But Goldberg did enter the ring at that point in time as well. Now this is the bit I missed. I think Kurt Angle may have hit his finishing maneuver maybe on Sting on the outside, because this is where Sting was eliminated, I think. I may be wrong. I thought that's the highlight it was trying to show us, but Bret Hart here pinning Cactus Jack again in the middle. It was not enough for a 3 count though. And it is towards the end of the match. You see Kurt Angle just stalking Goldberg. He'd already hit him with 1 Angle slam. Goldberg back up to his feet and gets caught with another one. The poor man Goldberg had absolutely no chance after that second one. There's the pin. 1, 2, and 3. So Kurt Angle is going to main event our next pay-per-view against who? We're going to find out on the main show, which, like I said, is going to be uploaded straight after this one. I say straight after, maybe 3 or 4 hours, depending on how long it takes YouTube to get the video up. Of course, these videos are generally a little bit longer because of the because there's 7 matches on the card, and we show all the entrances and things like that as well. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. Of course, if you have enjoyed this video, then be sure to hit that like button and, of course, subscribe for a lot more 2K16 footage, including the main Unforgiven pay-per-view, which, like I said, we're going to have a Hell in a Cell match on there. We've got another Elimination Chamber match. We've got another few championship matches for you as well, and the culmination of a few rivalries. I've been Shabby Gamer. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you at Unforgiven.